It's really a great pleasure for me to be here with you today to acknowledge and pay tribute to war veteran, Flight Lieutenant Douglas Smith. This is a result of a campaign of recognition launched by President François Hollande on the occasion of the Battle of Normandy's 70th anniversary. Today, 14 New Zealand veterans have been decorated with the rank of Chevalier in the Legion of Honor for their services. It is extremely important for France to recognize and pay tribute to Kiwi veterans who risked their lives to participate in the Liberation of France campaign. Many bonds weave through France and New Zealand's shared history. Never was this relationship more strongly forged than as allies on the battlefield. As we commemorate the first centenary of the First World War, it is appropriate that we continue to honor those who fought in defense of France. As an ambassador, it is encouraging to see how these bonds between France and New Zealand continue to be recognized and remembered today. For example, just 2 weeks ago, a historic rugby match took place on the other side of the world. No, I'm not speaking about France versus Ireland, or even the All Blacks against Georgia. Also, they were both great games. I am actually referring to the match held on September 29th in Paris between the New Zealand Defence Force and the French military Pacific 15. This match was held to commemorate another historic game held in 1917 near the Western Front. Known as the Somme Cup, a team from the New Zealand division played against a team of French military men. I won't mention that the French lost quite badly. This moment, along with many others, it is a testament to the importance of the recognition of our war veterans. Today, we pay tribute to war veteran Mr. Douglas Smith. I understand, Mr. Smith, that you have close personal links with Europe, Mr. Smith. Though you were raised here in New Zealand, your life, in fact, began in London. You were born in 1918, just a few years after the end of the First World War. A war in which your father, a Kiwi soldier, fought on the Western Front. And I know also that you have another European connection. Your mother was a Swiss woman, and if I'm correct, your grand-grandmother is French. I have no doubt that these attachments were not alien to your decision to participate in the war. If you will allow me, Mr. Smith, I would also like to share with our guests a little of your military history. Mr. Smith enlisted in the Royal New Zealand Air Force in February 1941 and embarked for Europe 8 months later. He arrived in the United Kingdom in December 1941, where he completed training as a pilot. He was posted to 88th Squadron of the RAF Bomber Command for active duty, undertook retraining at number 1654 Conversion Unit and number 4 Operational Training Unit for heavy bombers, and later joined the 207 Squadron. Between 1942 and 1944, Mr. Smith served on operations in the Northwest Europe as a pilot with these 2 RAF Bomber Command squadrons. In May 1944, he was posted to the number 11 Operational Training Unit, where he was based during D-Day. He later served in the Far East under the 24 Squadron of the RAF Transport Command, before returning to New Zealand in March 1947. For his, and I quote, utmost fortitude, courage, and devotion to duty, Mr. Smith was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. New Zealanders are renowned for their selflessness in times of war. One can only imagine the bravery it must have required to enlist in a war taking place so far away from your home. France and her people will forever remain grateful to you for your personal efforts, Mr. Smith. I would like to personally extend a sincere merci to you for your exceptional courage, valor, and unfailing commitment throughout your military services. As we remember the past and pay tribute, it is equally important to bring these memories into the future. We must ensure that younger generations continue to recognize the importance of those difficult times. We must share with our young people the lessons that we learned and the bravery that was shown in the defense of freedom. Since my arrival in New Zealand this year, my admiration for the way in which Kiwis remember and pay tribute to veterans has only continued to grow. I see the importance of this recognition across all generations of Kiwi, from school children taking part in remembrance projects to families with young children attending Anzac Dawn ceremonies. I also see this in the people who have gathered here today in your honor. Mr. Smith, if you allow me, I will now decorate you with the Legion of Honor. Mr. Smith, au nom du président de la République française, je vous fais chevalier dans l'ordre de la Légion d'honneur.